So, if you're a gamer, you've probably heard the news. In early October 2025, Microsoft dropped a bombshell, a huge price increase for Xbox Game Pass. But what's really going on here? Is it still worth it for subscribers like you and me? Well, let's get into it and break it all down. Okay, let's dive right into the heart of the matter, the thing everyone is talking about, the new price. And wow, when you see the numbers, especially for the top tier plan, it's a lot. So check this out. For anyone in Japan, the monthly price for Game Pass Ultimate has basically doubled. It's jumping from 1,350 yen all the way up to 2,750 yen. And look, this isn't just a small tweak. This is a massive leap that completely changes the value proposition of the service. And if you think that monthly price is a shock, wait till you see the long-term cost. A 3-year subscription, it used to be about 48,800 yen. Now it's going to set you back a staggering 99,000 yen. That is a serious chunk of change and a huge commitment, even for the most die-hard Xbox fans. All right, so the big question on everyone's mind has to be, what are we getting for all that extra cash? Is Microsoft actually giving us enough new stuff to justify doubling the price? Let's take a look at what they say is being added to the package. Okay, so here's the deal. The new and improved Ultimate tier now throws in 2 new things. First up is Ubisoft Plus Classics, which is basically a library of some of Ubisoft's older, popular games. Second, and this one's a bit of a head-scratcher, you get a subscription to Fortnite Crew. All of this comes on top of EA Play, which thankfully is still part of the deal. So now we get to the real question. Are these new additions actually worth that much higher price? Does the math really add up here? Well, our source material takes a deep dive into this, and let's just say the analysis is pretty skeptical. Let's start with Ubisoft Plus Classics. Here's the kicker that our source points out. This isn't some exclusive perk you can only get on Xbox. Nope, it's already part of the competing PlayStation Plus Extra service. So, yeah, that kind of takes the wind out of its sails as a major justification for the price hike, right? And then there's the Fortnite Cruise subscription, which is honestly even more baffling. I mean, think about it. The whole point of Game Pass is this incredible library of over 400 different games you can explore. So why bundle in a subscription service for just one game, especially one that's already free to play? It just feels completely disconnected from what Game Pass is all about. And this quote from the source just nails the frustration perfectly. It's like when your phone provider throws in some random streaming service you never asked for and will never use, but you have to pay for it anyway. It really highlights that feeling of being forced to buy things you just don't need. But, it's not all just criticism. The source doesn't just tear down the decision. It actually offers a pretty smart alternative. It lays out 4 really solid ways Microsoft could have made this price hike feel fair and justified to its subscribers. And you'll notice there's a running theme here. It's all about delivering what people actually want, more and better games. The suggestions are pretty simple. Make the EA Play offerings better, give us the full Ubisoft Plus library instead of just the classics, drop the weird Fortnite bundle, and most importantly, double down on bringing in more amazing indie games. And that last point about indie games, that's really the core of the whole argument. Because let's be real, what's the best part of Game Pass? For a lot of us, it's discovering some incredible indie gem that you never would have paid for on its own, but you gave it a try because, hey, it was right there. That's the real magic of the service. This quote just drives the point home. If you want to keep a library of over 400 games feeling fresh and exciting, indie titles aren't just a nice little bonus. They are absolutely essential. The source suggests that making deals with top indie publishers like Annapurna or Devolver is the real key to providing true, long-lasting value. So let's step back and look at the bigger picture. What does a move like this really signal about the future of Xbox as a whole? The source reads between the lines here, and frankly, the analysis is pretty sobering. According to our source, this isn't some bold, confident move for growth. It's a defensive one. The interpretation is that Microsoft basically believes the console war is over. They've lost, and now they have to change their entire strategy. So what's that new strategy? It seems to be a major pivot. Instead of trying to grow the user base and bring in new people, the focus has shifted to simply recovering costs from the loyal fans who are already subscribed, the people who are least likely to leave, even when the price goes up. And this all leads us to one final and kind of scary question. By making such a drastic move, Xbox has set a completely new, much higher price standard for the market. So the author's biggest fear, and the thought we're left with, is this. What's to stop PlayStation from looking at this and thinking, hey, we can do that too?